Cool. Are we live? Okay. Hey everyone, this is Milan from Arcona Games. I just want to show you what have we worked on for the past couple of months after the launch of our second game, Galactic Warlords. So this is Small Star Empires with the expansions, and I'm going to give a quick overview of the game, of the base game, and I will show you what we have in the expansions as well. So yeah, can I have the board? Yeah, okay, thank you. So this is Small Star Empires. It's a game of galactic colonization and domination for 2 to 4 players. In this game, you will move your ship around the board, and you will colonize systems as you go, and you will score points for that. So you want to spread around and block your opponents from colonizing the valuable systems in the game. So let's make a sample turn for. So if I'm the blue player, I'll just go here and maybe colonize this system. And now, as you can see, this system has 3 planets in it, so it gives you 3 points. It will give you 3 points at the end of the game, and that's it. That's basically the turn. And players go in clockwise order until either none of you can move your ships anymore, or you have placed all of the components on the board. So that's basically Small Star Empires, the base game, and it's pretty straightforward. It plays really quickly in around 15 minutes, and that's the base game. So we have also unexplored system tiles, which add a bit of variant to the game, and that's pretty much what's contained in the base game of the Small Star Empires box. So can I have the yeah, okay. So right now I will show you these two. So these are the upcoming expansions for Small Star Empires, the Galactic Divide and Dawn of Discovery. So I will explain to you first the Galactic Divide. It's an expansion about the factions in the game, and you gaining power throughout the game as you play. And so what does this expansion add to the base game? You will have a mechanic around power, and you will gain power by placing your battle stations miniatures around the board. So for example, if I go here, and let's say that there were colonies from the opposing players here. So if I go here and I place a battle station, I will gain power equal to the number of players around the battle station, and I will mark that power here on my faction board, as you can see. So I will mark my power here on this track, and then throughout the game I can use that power to play these special abilities that each faction has. So each faction has unique abilities, and it's pretty asymmetrical gameplay for the factions, so it makes for an even more interesting game. And for example, the blue ones, they want to spread around much faster than the other factions. So they have powers that they can use that to place colonies around the board much faster. Let's see the green ones, for example. These are the traders of the game, and they make more use of the trade stations as the game progresses. The yellow ones, for example, these are they can use their abilities to pass other player systems, which you cannot normally do in the game. And the red ones are the aggressive race of the factions, the most aggressive race of all the 4 factions, and you can use these abilities to damage other opponents' ships, so they cannot move more than 2 spaces per turn, for example, or destroy other players' colonies and you know, just conquer them and be the most dominant race in the galaxy. So that's that's the Galactic Divide. So that's it's pretty much simple in terms of what you have in the box, but it adds another layer of depth in the game. So you will really need to think about where do you want to put those battle stations and how much power you want to have, and you have to take care of the power. So for instance, if you place too many battle stations quickly, you cannot go over 8 power. So you have to manage that as well. And yeah, I'm gonna show you now Dawn of Discoveries. That's the second expansion for Small Star Empires. And in that expansion, it all revolves around technology. So the scientists of the galaxy found that certain minerals in the galaxy have very powerful properties. So they will use those minerals, which you can see here. So they will use those minerals to research other technologies and use them to manipulate the board in a different fashion and move your ships in a different fashion. So how do you gain those minerals? At the setup of the game, you will place, this is a cotton bag that you will have the minerals in. So you will place one mineral on each one planet system around the board, right? And I'm gonna do that. So you will have basically, I think, around 21 minerals or maybe more at the beginning of the game. And now, when you want to move your ships, you can always colonize a system with one planet and then take the mineral and have it in your possession here. And you can colonize that system like you would do a normal system. But you can also choose to place these research stations around the board, which when you move, for example, let's say I put this here, I put a research station, and then I will get a random mineral from the bag and put a mineral in that research station. Now this means that when an opponent comes to colonize an adjacent system to my research station, he will get that white mineral, for example. He will get that white mineral. Let's say I go here and I place this colony. He will get that white mineral in his possession and he will give you another random mineral. So this is the second way to gain more minerals in the game, which then you can use to purchase technology cards. And now these are the technology cards. You have a lot of technology cards and most of them are for one-time use. So each technology card has a cost to it associated. So for example, some require one white mineral, one green. Others require, I don't know, let's say others require 3 types of minerals. So let's take a look at the repair drones. So you have 2 whites, 1 green, 1 red. And each of the cards have unique abilities that when you use the card, you just flip it over, use that ability and do all kinds of stuff. So for example, let's say that I want to, let's find something that can be explained more easily. So, okay, so I can use the advanced hyperspace drive, for example, right? I can use the advanced hyperspace drive. So I can move my ship through one opponent's system this turn, right? So if I have this card in my possession, I can just flip it over, right? I can just flip it over and then say, okay, I can move through this system here, because normally I can't in the game. And that's how you will use those cards to manipulate the board more easily and do some kind of special movement around it and score as much points as possible by using those cards. And at the end of the game, all of those technologies will give you 2 points regardless of whether you have played the card or not. So that's pretty much your choice if you want to play the card or not. And all of this, you can combine all of this to play a full version of Small Star Empires with both the expansions. So for example, the technology cards have the technology cards have power, which you will get if you play with the other expansion as well. So maybe you would consider that as well when you are purchasing technologies. And of course you spend the minerals and you give them away in the bank, and that's how you acquire the technology. And that's pretty much both of the expansions for Small Star Empires. We also plan on doing a second edition of the game, of the base game, which will improve the production a bit. I mean, not the quality, because people were really satisfied with the quality. We want to include some new stuff which can enhance your gameplay experience. So, for example, we have the score track, which you can use to mark your points, because this score track will be needed throughout. If you play with the expansions as well, you will need the score track to mark points, because some of the abilities and technologies give you points throughout the game. And we will have these nebula markers, which will be placed around the board on the nebulas. And when some player takes a green nebula, for example, he will take that marker, and he will know at the end of the game that he has a green nebula, instead of looking around on the board and trying to figure out which player has which nebulas. So this will be really easily to be calculated. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this overview of the game. We will be doing more of this, and hope to see you again in another live stream. Thank you. Bye.